Guys, in a previous class, I completed user ID. Right, that day many students were absent, but still, so must go on. I covered this user ID. Okay. Today, two major topics I'll be covering. Okay. One is app ID. One is app ID I'll be covering today, and another is Syslog server integration. Okay. So these two things I'll be definitely covering today, and depending on time that we have, we'll see if we can cover any other topics. Okay. First, app ID. Let's see. Okay. This thing has been done. App ID. Now understand what is app ID. It's an application identification. If I ask you, hey, what's your identity? What's your human identity? What would be your answer? Your certificates, your Aadhaar card, PAN card, wherever you're. So that country's legal government documents are your ID proof. That only proves that you are this person, right? Same way, how to identify applications. It should have some way of identifying, right? Let's say your application was designed with so and so type of codes. So that codes are basically an identity of that application itself. See, this app ID feature is a next generation firewall feature. Without app ID, you can't say your firewall is a next generation. Normal firewall like ASA firewalls are a normal firewall. Making a router like a firewall is a normal case. But is that a next generation firewall? No, it's not a next generation firewall. We basically, until and unless we don't have this app ID type of feature in a firewall, that is not considered as a next generation firewall. Okay. So app ID. How does your firewall identify an application? I want you guys to write it down. Application protocol, detection or decryption, application protocol decoding, application signature, heuristic checks. Write down these things. Application protocol, detection, decryption, application protocol decoding, application signature, heuristic checks. These are the properties of an application filtering. Second is application protocol decoding. See, it's written here. Application protocol detection and decryption, application protocol decoding, application signature, heuristic. Right? Now understand what is application protocol decoding. Sorry, application protocol detection. Any protocol in the, any application in this world runs with any application, with certain applications. ठीक है, कोई एप्लीकेशन ले लो, किसी न किसी प्रोटोकॉल पे उसका डिपेंडेंसी होता ही है. दैट्स व्हाई वी से application protocol detection and decryption. Application might be in an encrypted format. Until the application is not decrypted, we can't read what application is carrying, what information is carried by application. So decryption is most important. Okay. So the first thing is application protocol, application protocol detection, and decryption. First of all, it should detect, then it should decrypt to find what is inside. See, detection can happen only when firewall can see what is inside. It means your data is in a clear text, or it can be a condition where packet is encrypted and it needs a decryption. Then only firewall can see what is inside. If any packet is encrypted, they can't automatically do a decryption. I mean, they can't do a detection. Not possible. So two type of traffics will be there in a firewall. One will be clear text, another will be encrypted. If it is encrypted, then decryption should be there to decrypt it. Then only firewall can see what is inside. Very simple. Okay. दो तरीके के पार्सल तुम्हारे पास आ सकते हैं. एक पार्सल जिसमें लॉक लगा हुआ हो, एक पार्सल जिसमें लॉक ना लगा हुआ हो. जिसमें लॉक ना लगा हुआ हो, that is basically already in a clear text. That is called clear text. So your firewall can detect such type of application. And applications can be which are encrypted by protocols like HTTPS. HTTPS means secure and encrypted format. SSH, secure, whereas Telnet, HTTP are clear text. So if any traffic comes with clear text protocols, it can detect. When it comes with any encrypted format, then it requires a decryption to detect. Now, this was the initial phase of detecting application either in a clear text or after doing a decryption. Second comes application protocol decoding. What does it mean? Application protocol decoding. See, every protocol runs behind some protocol. I mean, any any application, not any protocol, any application runs behind any. Mhm. So how do you see that? Guys, please mute yourself. If you open Applipedia, Palo Alto, guys, please mute yourself. Now here you can see we have Applipedia 2.0 version. Oh. Now here I searched Applipedia Palo Alto, and here you can see we have a link called Applipedia 2.0 version. Click on this. Now here I can see they are actually changing these things. Ones, tens, 100,000, 10,000 lakh. We have around 1 lakh 5,230 type of applications currently listed. Earlier it was 10,000 around, but this time they have almost included all the applications here. This shows the database of app ID of your Palo Alto Firewall that they have inside their firewall. Understood. Tell me any application name that you want to see. Okay, team. Now there are multiple teams here. Microsoft Team. MS Office it has shown, and I can see Microsoft Team. If you click here, I can see this Microsoft Teams is the application name, MS Team App ID name. It comes under a suite. Suite means collection, right? Of Microsoft 365. Vendor is Microsoft. Category comes under collaboration. Subcategory internet conferencing and DLP supported. Right. Standard ports used are TCP port number 80443 or it could be UDP port number dynamic. Oh, UDP dynamic port number also it can use. Uh-huh. Data loss prevention supported. Technology client and server used SaaS service, software as a service. Yes, supported. So with the help of this Applipedia, I could see details of an application, right? So this application is dependent on which protocols I could clearly see here, right? It comes under which category, which subcategory, right? What type of feature it supports, what type of technology it uses, right? Client and server, and it's a SaaS, it's a pre-hosted application where we take a subscription and we use it. It's not like you're developing something over there. No, it's not like that. So what I mean here is we can see all application details from this Applipedia. Understood.
Sir, in MS Office 365, all are the having the same name, MS, like
Microsoft is a company, right? So
what I'm saying, Microsoft team base is showing FID MS team, but there are the multiple applications under the Office 365. So all are the having the same ID.
under the Microsoft Teams, this is base. What they are telling is on top of Microsoft, we do have other sub applications. Like under the Microsoft Teams, you do have an option of downloading, host, invite, create. This type of sub applications also we have.
So वो भी मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि MS Office 365 में इसका ये शूट है इसमें MS के सारे ऑफर के ट्रैकिंग हो गए बहुत सारे ट्रैकिंग तो सबके सबका ये नॉमिनेटेड से हुआ है पर MS.
That's what I'm saying. These all listed things, whatever you see here, has a separate app ID. Understood? It means if I block this team base, Microsoft team base, entire thing will get blocked. Understood? Or let's say I want to block only download. So team will work, but download will not happen. Understood? So this way, application and sub applications are created. That's why we call it as a application, sub application. Sub application means what? Micro applications which are present on the base application. For example, Facebook. On a Facebook, how many sub applications are there? Talk only about Facebook. On a Facebook, how many sub applications do you have? मतलब नहीं समझे हो तो फिर समझाता हूँ. फेसबुक पे बहुत सारे एक्स्ट्रा चीजें तुम लोग कर पाते हो जैसे चैट. So do you think chat is a part of Facebook application itself? Yeah, it's a part of Facebook, but it runs on a different server. बहुत सारे applications को एक जगह जोड़ दिया गया है. That is application plus sub applications. Like on top of Facebook, we have chat, comment, post, download, upload, video chat, audio chat, video play, so many things, right? If I give you a full privilege to use Facebook, what will be disadvantage for me? You'll keep scrolling reel, right? And when you keep scrolling reel, video plus audio both are being played. That will consume more bandwidth of my internet. So 10 users, 20 users at a time, if they start watching all these type of contents, YouTube video content, Instagram, Facebook, and many more applications are there. So what will happen? High utilization of bandwidth will happen. And in my company at a peak time, 10 to 5, I don't want these things to happen. So I might let you to open Facebook, but your comment might not work, your post might not work, your videos might not play. Reason? I might have done sub application filtering. These are called sub application or a micro application. In other words, it is also called application visibility control. Right. Write it down. Controlling application and sub application, controlling application and a sub application is called controlling application and sub application is called application visibility control. Application visibility control. What does it mean? Application visibility control. In short, we also call it as a AVC. In a bracket, write it down. AVC, application visibility control. और this is also called deep packet inspection. इसको हम लोग deep packet inspection भी बोलते हैं. See, this type of terms are required when you guys will go for an interview. You have to tell them, hey, I'm aware of these terms. I know what is application visibility control. I know what is deep packet inspection. And these features are present only in a next generation firewall, not in a other firewalls. Online guys, are you getting my point? Are you understanding what I'm talking about? Applications, sub applications, everything.
सर एक और होगा जैसे कि आपने बोला कि फेसबुक के अंदर बहुत सारे कंटेंट होते हैं
Mhm.
और अगर यूजर को दे आर फेसिंग द ओनली द ऑडियो इशू तो उसके लिए कि अगर उसके लिए मेरा एमआईडी डिफरेंट होगा सर
ऑडियो इश्यू आ रहा है
मतलब सर आपने बोला कि दे आर हैविंग
सब एप्लीकेशंस
उसकी अगर मैं एक पर्टिकुलर आई वांट टू ट्रैक deep infection so how we can find it and what we are going to trace the things.
No, see, what I'm trying to tell is, see here, this is older version or older look of our Applipedia. Here, how many applications were listed? 5,398. And this is 2.0 where we have more than 1 lakh applications listed.
सर मेरे को कुछ क्वेश्चन बता रहा हूँ जैसे यूजर मुझे बोल रहा है कि मेरा टीम्स तो चल रहा है बट ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा है तो सर उस केस में मैं पूछना चाह रहा हूँ क्या उस केस में मुझे ट्रेस करना होगा क्या एमएसटी पे सेम एफआईडी होगा या उसकी जो सब कैटेगरीज हैं उसके लिए एफआईडी
अच्छा, ठीक. So your friend is asking, let's say we're using some application like Teams where we can do audio chat, video chat. And if I have an issue with audio, is that a problem of our application filtering? Or is there any role of application or a sub application filtering? See, in that case, I would say no. If your teams are allowed it, if the entire application of team is allowed it, right? I haven't done any filtering regarding Microsoft Teams. For example, I haven't done any filtering and still you are getting problem with audio. So that can be a problem of your internet bandwidth. That can be mostly it will be a problem of your internet bandwidth only. अब तुम्हारे मोबाइल में नेटवर्क है लेकिन सफिशिएंट नेटवर्क नहीं है जिसके वजह से आवाज कट रहा है तो तुमको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि किस रीजन से आवाज कट रहा है वहां पे ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि तुम्हारे नंबर ब्लॉक्ड है नहीं इनकमिंग आ रहा है आवाज कट रहा है इसका मतलब नेटवर्क अच्छा नहीं है सो हियर इफ inside a team audio is getting a problem so it can be a problem of that application is blocked or something else it can be a problem of internet connectivity is not that problem huh. One way you can say that it can be a problem of or it can be a application part of application filtering where you are getting teams but in a team you are not getting option of audio you are not getting the option itself of audio why because they have already blocked it or might be you're getting an option and when you're trying to click on that it is not communicating it is not connecting itself could be a problem of rest every features are working but audio itself is not working so it can be a part of your firewall sub application filtering but if application is working if audio is connecting but there is a disturbance in an application in audio, then that's not a part of your sub application. Now, see here, guys, every application has category, subcategory, app ID, risk factor. It means you see application name, we have category, we have subcategory, we have app ID type, risk factors. So, 5 ways we can categorize our applications. In 5 ways, I can take a action. For example, if I filter highly riskable applications, if you see anywhere risk category 5, here it is 4. 5 is highest risk category. That means I have an applications that are highly riskable. Guys, are you understanding what is application, sub application? Is that part clear now? Okay. And how do you check which application runs on which port number or a protocol? Can you guys identify now? You can identify with the help of Applipedia. Okay. So this was one thing. Now let me do one thing. Let me start
So Wikipedia is a particular, database for the follower.
only Palo Alto.
So is there any way in the follower to CNI or your access to get some check that?
In a GUI we have ISO. Palo Alto weekend 10:30. Okay, I started all these devices. Okay. We started all these devices. I'll get an access of firewall. See, one thing, let me make you understand why app ID is more important. So I told you about detection, but detection can happen only when it is readable. So decryption is required. Application decoding is about knowing that this application runs over which protocols. I had shown you right now, right? सारे एप्लीकेशन किसी न किसी प्रोटोकॉल पे डिपेंडेंट है. Application signature is the way of identifying the application. So app ID को ही application signature बोलते हैं. Heuristic check is nothing but it's a behavioral based check. For example, I have sports category or games category. So what I did is games category entirely I blocked it. So I have games category and I gave an action as a block. Entire category I blocked it. So whatever listed game applications are there inside a firewall was able to block it. अब उसके पास जो डेटाबेस है उस डेटाबेस के आधार पे वो सारे एप्लीकेशंस जो गेम से बिलोंग करते हैं उसको वो उसने ब्लॉक कर दिया. बट लेट्स से दिस गाय found any new application of a game and tried accessing through the firewall. Initially, your firewall wasn't able to understand because it wasn't there in a database of firewall. So he was able to access it for 4 or 5 minutes initially. But after a few minutes, your firewall was able to block it. अब ये कैसे हो गया? तो firewall ने देखा. See, nowadays your devices are getting more smarter, AI integrated, ML integrated. These features are integrated inside your firewall. They are able to recognize based on the content passing through your firewall. For example, when I use any game, what can be common keywords that should be there in a game? Tell me. Any keywords that should be present in a game? So. What type of keywords there should be in an application that will represent that this is a part of game? Action, punch, play, kick, start, run. These are the type of keywords that we understand it can be a part of our games. Pictures. Nowadays, AI can analyze your picture as well, right? Animations. So when we tried opening any such type of application and when this traffic passed through firewall, now firewall is AI integrated. AI was able to recognize keywords were verified and they understood that this application belongs to game category. And firewall checks entire category was blocked. So it means I should block this application as well. This type of behavioral based check and taking an action on the application is basically called as a heuristic checks. Write it down. Behavioral based check is called heuristic check. Behavioral based check. This type of words will come in your interview. Behavioral based checks. Right? Okay. As per packet flow, this is where it comes into a picture. You remember I told you there is an app ID? See, override of app ID is a different thing. Understood? That I'll discuss today. I'll discuss about app ID. So currently any packet coming here will get triggered with app ID. App ID means database of your application signature. What is override? That I'll discuss step by step. But here in a packet flow, we do have an option. If I enable decryption feature, then it will check encrypted packet and it will try to decrypt it. This practical, I'll do it later. Probably tomorrow we'll do it. Okay. How to decrypt a packet, how to check attacks, or how to decrypt any encrypted packets and all with the help of firewall, that we'll see in tomorrow's class. Right now, understand we have a database of app ID, and any application passing through a firewall will be checked against the app ID, whether it is allowed it or not. Right. Now, there are several applications that we use in our daily basis. Gmail, Google Talk, Calendar, Sybase, and so on. This is app ID flow. Okay, this is app ID flow. Now here we can see if any packet comes at your firewall interface, firewall checks your IP and port number. Those things are the initial part of packet flow. When it comes inside a policy to check an application, app ID I had shown you in the packet flow, right? It checks application signature. So जब पैकेट आएगा तो एप्लीकेशन सिग्नेचर से ही मैच करेगा उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए कि कौन सा एप्लीकेशन जा रहा है. But it will see if your packet is in a clear text or encrypted. If it is in a clear text, it will match with signature. It can do all these stuff. If not, if it is encrypted, then packet will go for decryption, and then it will match with your application signature. Because application signature को डेटा चाहिए, रॉ डेटा चाहिए, विजिबिलिटी चाहिए. मैं किसी भी पैकेट को ऐप आईडी से मैच करवा दूं और ऐप आईडी उसको डिटेक्ट कर ले, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू हैव टू सी वेदर पैकेट इज विजिबल टू सिग्नेचर और नॉट. अगर इंक्रिप्टेड है तो डिक्रिप्ट करो, अगर क्लियर टेक्स्ट में ऑलरेडी है तो कोई बात नहीं. ओके, सो टिल हियर एप्लीकेशन आइडेंटिफाइड. Okay, what application signature detected what type of application you are trying to access. Let's say you're trying to access Facebook. Now it will try to decode, it will try to know whether do I have a same port number used by this application or not. Everything will be verified and it will keep in a category of identified traffic and further no decoding required. If this type of request comes, I don't have to do decoding at all. If it is unknown, then it will try to apply heuristic checks and several things. And finally, it will generate a report and apply policy on top of that. That's how app ID works. Okay. इसमें बहुत सारी चीजें और हैं जो डिस्कस करना है. ठीक है. Write it down, this one. Evasive application. See, what I'm trying to show you right now is importance of app ID. Why application filtering is required on a firewall. This is motive. Write down evasive application. What is evasive application? तुम लोग पानी जानते हो ना, वाटर। वाटर का क्या शेप होता है बताओ? शेप, कोई शेप नहीं होता है। श्योर? ठीक। इवेसिव एप्लीकेशन भी ऐसे ही होते हैं। उनके अपने कोई डेडिकेटेड होते भी अगर हैं तो वो स्टेबल नहीं रहते हैं उस पे, प्रोटोकॉल्स पे। वी हैव एन एप्लीकेशंस which are not stable with their protocols. For example, torrent. Okay. Now, if I search here, what are the port number used by torrent? What Google will say, port used by torrent. It uses 6881. Write it down. BitTorrent uses a port number between 6881 to 6999. That's a port number range used by BitTorrent. Now, it can be TCP or UDP, anything. It can be either a TCP or it can be UDP. But you know what? This torrent application is very clever application. Understood? Why? As per Palo Alto, if I say Palo Alto Applipedia, as per Palo Alto Applipedia, if I search torrent, you see BitTorrent. Now, what do you see here? Standard ports, TCP dynamic, UDP dynamic. Imagine any application which can use any port number of TCP, any port number of UDP, how dangerous it can be. As per Google, it had some range of port numbers, right? If I block that range of port number, as per Google, that should not be accessible, right? But it's false. This torrent application is evasive application. What does it evasive means? It does not have its own, does not have a fixed protocol or a port number. It can use dynamic TCP, dynamic UDP. अगर मैं अपने नेटवर्क में पूरा TCP और UDP को बंद कर दूं, सब कुछ चला गया। कुछ ही ऐसे प्रोटोकॉल्स हो जैसे ICMP हो गया, सिर्फ ICMP रीचेबिलिटी लेके मैं क्या करूं? Web will not work, DNS will not work, other protocols will not work. So ultimately what I'm saying, everything will be blocked. तो इस तरीके के एप्लीकेशंस क्या करते हैं पता है? Why did I give you example of water? The reason was, let's say I'm running HTTP. Torrent can establish connection behind HTTP. I'm running DNS. Behind DNS, it will establish connection. This type of applications are called evasive applications, which can establish a connection behind other protocols as well. This type of applications are called evasive. And general firewalls like ASA or any router working like a firewall and all does not have capability of filtering such type of applications. इसके लिए strong filtering चाहिए. That is called app ID. So app ID means what? App ID is kind of, it has the entire properties of torrent. So if any application is running, when it gets matched with app ID can detect it. If torrent tries to work behind other protocol also, app ID can easily identify that. That's why app ID is very important. समझ रहे हो importance? ठीक. अब दूसरा important चीज समझते हैं. See, this is what it is represented here. Yahoo, BitTorrent, these all are evasive type of applications. Yahoo working port on a port number 5050. If I block it, still it can establish a connection behind 80. BitTorrent, this port number, but it still can establish connection behind port number 80. If I have a port-based firewall, that is of no use. I need a next generation firewall, right? Without a next generation firewall, not possible. अब यहाँ पे सिनेरियो नंबर 1 समझो. मैं इतना सारा एक्सपीरियंस तुम लोग को देना चाहता हूँ जिससे तुम लोग समझ सको कि ऐप आईडी का यूजेस क्या होता है नेक्स्ट जनरेशन फायरवॉल में. यहाँ पे देखो, we have a legacy firewall, that means old firewall, and here I have a Palo Alto firewall with app ID. If I'm sending a traffic here, so here rule is, firewall rule is to allow port number 53, right, and block torrent. So old firewall has allowed a DNS, and BitTorrent is also allowed because your firewall does not have visibility to application. It only has visibility to port numbers. Layer 3, Layer 4 पे काम करता है. वही app ID, DNS can be allowed, and BitTorrent can be easily detected and can be blocked if it is trying to run if it tries to run behind the DNS. Scenario number 2. चलो मैंने एक IPS लगा दिया. So I have a firewall missed a torrent, but IPS detected and it blocked it. Fine. So how many devices I need to use? 2 devices, 2 maintenance. Here a single device. Okay. Third number scenario. चलो तुमने IPS तो लगा लिया, but does your IPS have 0-day detection, 0-day protection feature? You know what is 0-day? आज मैंने न्यू अटैक बना लिया जिसका सॉल्यूशन किसी के पास नहीं. दैट इज कॉल्ड 0-day. ठीक है. You stop the application by using a IPS device. Fine. But does your IPS have 0-day prevention feature? So let me give you an example. What can be 0-day? You applied all filterings of IPS. You applied all the threat filtering, whatever you could imagine. But let's say today, hacker has created some new type of attack, which is beyond your thinking, beyond solutions, beyond your expectations. तुमने सोचा ही नहीं होगा कि ये अटैक भी हो सकता है और उसने वो कर दिया. उसको 0-day अटैक. जैसे ह्यूमन तैयार था क्या कोरोना के लिए? नहीं था. कोरोना निकला ना. So humans were not prepared, medicines were not ready. This type of attacks are called 0-day attacks. So
what is the keyword to identify the firewall to protect the network?
your firewall should have a feature supported for 0-day attack. Okay. And that prevention method is called wildfire.
What?
Wildfire. Okay.
So one, so IPs and the URL filtering, that is the same thing. So if IPs and URL filtering, that is the same.
No, two different things.
Because URL also DNS also converted IP to URL, DNS to URL. I mean,
DNS is separate traffic, right? Application filtering is separate. URL is separate. See, some applications are URL based. Only app ID can't give you a complete filtering. Some applications can be URL based also, so URL filtering also can be applied. App ID, URL filtering, service-based filtering, they are all dependent. ठीक है, आज के डेट में बहुत सारे ऐसे एप्लीकेशंस हैं जो ऐप आईडी से ही हो जाता है, यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग का जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ता। लेकिन कुछ ऐसे एप्लीकेशंस हो सकते हैं जो ऐप आईडी से वर्क ना कर रहा हो, उसके लिए यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग ही बनाना पड़े। ठीक है, अब मान लो आई ट्राई टू browse Facebook with fb.com, not facebook.com. But your app ID understands facebook.com. For example, I'm just telling, but generally it does not happen. Your app ID detects not only your URL, not only your DNS, it looks the entire design of your application. So that's how it detects. I'm just trying to tell you for an example. So different address links I might use, like different domains I might use. fb.com short form. So let's say if app ID misses your application filtering, then URL category, URL filtering should be able to help you. You can write a URL category in your own desired way. मैं ये बताने की कोशिश करूंगा वहां पे कि I'll try to show whether fb.com is also included in my firewall or not. facebook.com है लेकिन fb.com भी हो वहां पे, इस चीज को मैं क्रिएट कर सकता हूँ URL filtering. See, URL is nothing but the address that we are typing. Based on that, it does a filtering. So main backbone of URL filtering is DNS based filtering. Okay. And application based filtering is not only based on DNS, it also depends on your application design itself. Okay. Okay. Come back to zero-day attack. So zero-day attack, as I told you, it's a new type of an attack. It can be mix of old or new. It can be totally new, which you are not aware of. Is your firewall capable or is your IPS capable for filtering such type of attacks? It's not ready. Nowadays, every next generation firewall has their own way of doing or detecting zero-day type of attacks. Every vendor. For example, Palo Alto calls itself as a wildfire. Other firewalls might call it as a sandbox. You might have heard about this word, sandbox. Sandboxing, wildfire, everything's are same. Cisco calls it as a AMP, Advanced Malware Protection. FortiGate calls it as a Forti Sandbox. Understood? So work is, ये क्या होता है कि आइसोलेटेड इन्वायरमेंट होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जेल होता है ना, जेल हमारे सिटी से बिल्कुल अलग है. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि जेल पूरा आजादी एकदम प्लेग्राउंड की तरह है, जाओ खेलो कुछ भी करो, कोई भी जा सकता है, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं. सेग्रीगेटेड इन्वायरमेंट, isolated environment, right? So if they see any unknown suspicious type of file, they take that file to that isolated environment, that is your sandbox, and they try to execute multiple scripts on that, try to know that this is good or bad file. समझ रहे हो? तो उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके देखने का कोशिश करेगा कि ये गुड है और बैड है. इफ इट इज गुड, not threat to a network, they will whitelist and send it. If it is bad, if it is harmful, they will create a signature and update your firewall for the further actions. This is what your wildfire does. This is what the sandbox is. So I believe we understood why do we need a next generation firewall, because next generation firewall has all these features. Our Palo Alto firewall has a zero-day protection while fire feature. Am I clear, guys? Okay, we'll see these practicals after our small break. अब practical देखेंगे. Let's have a small break. Again, we'll continue. Okay. So guys, I believe importance of app ID is clear. Let's do practical of it. HTTPS:// Let's see what is IP of our firewall. Admin capital A small p at the rate 12345. So system info. It's 100. Okay, we got an access. Yeah, similar IP. 5152. Okay. Admin capital A small p at the rate 12345. Now you guys have to configure physical firewalls. If you want to do practical on a physical firewall, now whatever I have taught you here, same thing apply it on a physical firewall and make your labs ready. Guys, 2 minutes, okay? I'll pause or record. Let it be. Wait. Okay, guys, let's see application filtering. We'll go to policies. Here, see, in this scenario, I haven't connected a real internet. Let me do one thing. Let me help you to connect a real internet that will give us an experience of exploring our real applications. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting a management cloud here. Write a name internet, and in EVNG management cloud will help you to talk with your real adapter. तो अगर मैंने यहाँ पे अगर मान लो जो भी अडेप्टर से ये तो मैं अभी सर्वर का एक्सेस ले रहा हूँ तो सर्वर के अडेप्टर के थ्रू जो इंटरनेट मिल रहा है वहां से एक्सेस देगा ये. So I'll try to start this and my router IP is .1. My router IP is .1. So I'll check a connectivity from my firewall to this router .1. That is my actual router which gives me internet access. So I'll try to ping with the source. What is my outside interface IP? 192.168.1.188 to our destination host 8.8.8.8. Let's see whether this switch has started or not. Still coming up. Now forget about pinging 8.8.8. Ping this gateway IP first of all. If gateway IP is reachable, then only we can think about reaching out something. I'll go to Palo Alto Firewall. I'll try reaching out 192.168.1.1. Yeah, gateway is reachable. But if you see, internet is not there. It means we'll check a route, come to firewall, come to network, come to virtual router. Inside a virtual router, I have here static route. यहाँ पे कोई route ही नहीं है. चलो we'll give a default route 0.0.0/0. Through which interface? 1/2. 1/2 is my WAN interface and gateway 192.168.1.1. Give this default route and say OK. And click on commit. So I gave a default route towards outside. Okay. So I'll come to firewall. Try to ping. You see, I started pinging internet. It means if I have a proper translation, then my PC can get an internet access. Let me see. Do I have a source translation? Go to policy, go to NAT. So this is LAN WAN. Okay, I do have some dynamic IP and port. I see LAN to LAN, LAN source to WAN zone, LAN subnet using WAN interface IP. Okay, this policy I'll activate it. I'll enable it. I had a policy, but I didn't use it, so I'll enable it. I'll commit the changes. After this, my PC should get internet access using or getting translated with my WAN interface IP. Okay, test 1 2 3. Ping 8.8.8.8 space minus T. Policy deploy हुआ या नहीं हुआ? Commit job was not queued. Error आ गया. Failed. चलो इसको मैं डिलीट कर देता हूँ. This policy, let's see. LAN to WAN. LAN, WAN, LAN subnet, translated, source translation, dynamic IP and port interface. Okay, looks everything good. So let this. I guess there is some problem with firewall or what. You guys start working on a hardware. Once again, I'll try to commit. There's nothing pending. So firewall has become very slow. Okay, wait, I'm trying to delete and recreate it. Okay, this is dynamic pat actually. LAN, WAN, PAT. My source zone is LAN. Destination is WAN. Let it be any source. Source translation, dynamic IP and port. I'll be using interface. Which interface? My WAN interface, and my WAN interface IP is this. Say okay. Let me commit. Till now, I haven't shipped internet access. Let's commit this. आज तुम लोग फिजिकल फायरवॉल को कंप्लीट करो, ठीक है। आईपी एड्रेसिंग डालने से पहले पूछ लो हमसे कौन सी आईपी एड्रेसिंग कहाँ पे डलेगा, लैन के लिए क्या सबनेट होगा, वैन के लिए क्या होगा, पूछ के काम करो। टोपोलॉजी बनाओ, स्टार्टिंग से करो। मैं सिर्फ इंस्ट्रक्शंस दूंगा, पूछने वाला काम तुम लोग। Tomorrow, I want to practice on physical firewall. Okay, this commit has completed successfully. Still, I didn't receive internet access. Committed successfully, right? Why I'm not getting internet access? Let's see, do I have a policy or not? I need to see LAN to WAN policy also, right? Oh, I don't have a policy. LAN to WAN policy is not enabled. I'll enable it. So here I have LAN to WAN with any address to any destination address, any application allowed. Okay. हमारे पास रूल तो है लेकिन रूल डिसेबल्ड था, तो इसको हम लोगों ने इनेबल किया। अब इसको कमिट कर देते हैं। Now started pinging. Right. So I got an internet access to my LAN PC. See guys, if you observe carefully here, in this policy, security policy, when I say applications, When you say application, what is that? Any application is allowed it. हमेशा याद रखना, रियल टाइम पे बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस इज whenever you want to block any application, create a separate policy, block policy, and that policy should be always at the top, block policy. So I'll click on clone here, and I want to move it at top. So I created a clone here, and I'll rename it LAN WAN block policy. Do a smart work, not a hard work. Now destination, now come to application. Now whichever application you want to block, you can select it here. For example, I want to block Facebook dot Facebook. Don't say .com. So related to Facebook, it will show you the entire application. Here it will show you entire application, or it has sub applications as well. So I want a Facebook base itself. You see Facebook base. I want this Facebook base itself to be blocked. Everything gone. And I want an action as a deny, and let's say okay. You know that application block page information should appear, right? Your application has been blocked by administrator, or some information should appear. That will come only when you enable this option. Go to device. Inside a device, there is something called response page. Inside a response page, you see application block page is disabled. So you have to enable it. So after doing all this stuff, commit the changes. We did an application filtering. Same way you can apply sub application filtering also. I choose Facebook, right? Instead of that, you could go with chat or anything else. That was sub application filtering. So once this sub application filtering is applied, then you can see here sub application filtering.
So, if the disable option, we can disable, we are disable the if you want to blocking page को disable कर रहा है पर्सन को ट्राई कर रहे हैं एक्सेस के लिए कि हाँ एक्सेस विजिबिलिटी नहीं हो पा रहा है और वो अगर हमने उसको इनेबल कर दिया अगर हमें नहीं दिख रहा है तो हम कैसे पाएंगे
नहीं सर,
आपने जो बोला कि वहाँ पे फीचर होता है कि उसको इनेबल और डिसेबल कर रहे हैं वो हमको देखना से बोला कि ब्लॉक है या अनब्लॉक नहीं है अगर हमने ब्लॉक किया है तो
देखो, ये तो सिर्फ एक नोटिफिकेशन के लिए है। अगर कोई एप्लीकेशन ब्लॉक्ड है तो वो जब रिक्वेस्ट जाएगा तो वो एक पेज ओपन हो जाएगा, उस पेज में दिखाई देगा कि एप्लीकेशन ब्लॉक्ड है या
तो ये मुझे डैशबोर्ड दिख रहा है सर
हाँ।
वैसे ये डिसेबल होगा तो ब्लॉक कर भी है
ना, वो नॉट ऑन डैशबोर्ड, वो क्लाइंट के ब्राउजर में वो चीज दिखेगा।
ओके ओके उनकी ब्राउजर
ब्राउजर में दिखेगा, वो वहाँ ब्राउजर के ब्लॉकिंग के लिए वो चीज अप्लाई
अगर हम डिसेबल कर दें तो उसे ब्लॉक
तो वो नहीं दिखेगा,
शो नहीं होगा
शो नहीं होगा, ब्लॉक हो जाएगा लेकिन स्लो नहीं। चलो ये अप्लाई अगर हो गया तो यहाँ पे हम लोग लैंड पीसी में आते हैं। देखो वो ब्राउजर पे भी डिपेंड करता है, ठीक है, ये सारी चीज। Let's say I'll try to open www.facebook.com. www.facebook.com. Ah, see, it automatically detected, right? It was blocked. डिटेक्ट ऑलरेडी कर दिया था कि ये एप्लीकेशन क्या है, ब्लॉक्ड है, ठीक है। ये सारी चीजें, ये इंफॉर्मेशन जो था ना, दिस वुड अपीयर ओनली व्हेन दैट you enable that application blocking page should be enabled, right? So Facebook has been blocked, but if I try to go for www dot let's say instagram.com, this will open. This is called application filtering, right? Now, why did I do all these things, all changes? Because I wanted you guys to see a real filtering. This was real filtering. अब सब एप्लीकेशन अगर फिल्टर करना है तो वो तुम लोगों पे डिपेंड है।
सर जैसे सर हमारे पास सेम होता है वो एप्लीकेशन बेस पे भी है और वो वेब यूआरएल भी है।
क्या चीज?
वेब एप्लीकेशन।
हाँ,
तो सर अगर अगर मुझे अगर पर्टिकुलर टीम्स ब्लॉक करना है, अगर मेरी सेम यूजर आईडी है शेयर करके, तो मैं उसको वेब से भी एक्सेस कर सकता हूँ और मैं एप्लीकेशन से भी कर सकता हूँ। अगर मैं एप्लीकेशन की बेस पे मैं उसको ब्लॉक कर रहा हूँ तो मेरे क्या वो यूआरएल बेस पे भी ब्लॉक हो जाएगा? नहीं।
अगर कोई चीज ऐप से ब्लॉक हो रहा है और यूआरएल से नहीं हो रहा है तो यूआरएल फिल्टरिंग भी अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा दोनों पे। Now see here. Now if you want to block any sub application only, so what we have to do, click on add here. Let's say we'll go for Facebook, and inside of Facebook, now if you see here chat I want to block, or voice or a video or anything I want to block, that particular application or sub application I can block it. It's up to you. You guys try out this thing. Okay. Now, major application filtering and sub application filtering is done. Now, what I'll tell you here is there is something called as a service based filtering. सर्विस बेस्ड फिल्टरिंग ऐसा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है जो हर चीज को इम्पैक्ट करता है. Now let's say here I'll take application any application is allowed it, but in service based filtering there are three things. One is application default, another is any, another is select. Three things we have. Application default means only allow those services which are included inside your application. एप्लीपेडिया में हम लोगों ने क्या देखा, कोई भी एप्लीकेशन का सर्टेन प्रोटोकॉल्स और पोर्ट नंबर्स है. तो अगर यहाँ पे सर्विसेज में एप्लीकेशन डिफॉल्ट है तो इसका मतलब वो उस ऐप आईडी के अंदर जो भी पोर्ट्स और प्रोटोकॉल्स है सिर्फ उसी को अलाउ कर. दैट इज एप्लीकेशन डिफॉल्ट. इफ आई सेलेक्ट एनी, I don't care whether it is inside an application or it is any other service, custom service, anything, everything allowed, which is not secure. अब यहां पे आते हैं select. Select means I'll choose those services that I want to allow. तो यहां पे अगर मैं देखूं तो दो सर्विसेज प्रीडिफाइंड है, HTTP and HTTPS. See guys, if I want HTTP to be blocked, right? अगर HTTP ब्लॉक हो गया तो HTTP से रिलेटेड जितने एप्लीकेशंस होंगे सारे ब्लॉक हो सकते. समझ रहे हो? सो चूज दिस ऑप्शन वेरी वाइजली. ठीक है. अब वही चलेंगे जो HTTP और आई मीन HTTPS और DNS से रिलेटेड. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे DNS ब्लॉक कर दिया ना, DNS ऑप्शन है नहीं, so what I can do is I can go to these services, I can create a DNS, and DNS is usually UDP based. So UDP based port number would be 53. Source port can be any, so I'm not doing anything with the source port. Destination port, let's say DNS को मैंने क्या कर दिया, block. If DNS is blocked, it means related to domain name, any access will be blocked. DNS itself blocked. तो यहाँ पे बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे हैं जिसपे हम लोगों को ध्यान रखना है. अगर इसको DNS को ब्लॉक कर दिया गया, सारे वेबसाइट्स डोमेन बेस्ड एक्सेस चले गए. समझ रहे हो ना मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ? So don't take service based filtering lightly नहीं लेना है उसको. Service based filtering is a filtering that might impact your entire application, URL, सब चीज पे impact कर देगा. बात समझ रहे हो? प्रोडक्शन में एक इम्पैक्ट, एक छोटा सा तुम्हारा चेंज सब चीज को इम्पैक्ट कर देगा. नहीं करते हैं. मान लो स्पेसिफिक जैसे डीएमजी है. इन अ डीएमजी आई डोंट वांट टू गिव एक्सेस फॉर एवरीथिंग. दैट इज टेलनेट सर्वर और एसएसएच सर्वर. I would like to allow only telnet or SSH. Why would I allow ping? Why would I allow HTTP, HTTPS? और सर्वर अगर मेरा सिर्फ HTTP, HTTPS, DNS. और मान लो बैंक. Usually this type of things will be applied in bank type of things. बैंक अपने कोई भी एप्लीकेशंस जो वेब बेस्ड होते हैं उसको डायरेक्टली स्टैंडर्ड पोर्ट्स पे नहीं रखते हैं. लाइक 80443 पे नहीं रखते हैं. उसको वो कस्टमाइज करके रखते हैं. मैंने बैंक के साथ बहुत काम किया हुआ है. ठीक है. मेरे पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस में मैंने ओरेकल के साथ ओरेकल का डेटाबेस कनेक्ट करवाना. बैंक का साइट्स जो इंटरनल एप्लीकेशंस होते हैं वो ब्राउजर बेस्ड होते हैं. उसका प्रॉक्सी सेटिंग्स वगैरह मिला दो, इंटरनेट मिला दो, वो अपने सर्वर से जाके मैच कर लेगा, डेटाबेस से कनेक्ट कर लेगा. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल हियर इज they might operate at a different port numbers. HTTP only, but HTTP at a different port number. HTTPS only, but HTTPS at different port number. That is basically a requirement. So in that case, I don't want to give entire application access, entire port number access. For a security, I would give access for DNS. I would give access for HTTP. HTTP also at the port number, let's say 4444. So in that case, you have to create that services. How do you create? अभी जो मैंने सर्विस बनाया वो कहाँ पे रहेगा? ऑब्जेक्ट के अंदर. गो टू ऑब्जेक्ट्स. Do you see service here? अभी मैंने डीएनएस बनाया था ना यहाँ पे. So I can go and add multiple services. Some firewalls will have predefined hundreds of services, like FortiGate, Checkpoint. They have predefined services, but here you have to create it. Let's say I'll say HTTP. I'll say bank HTTP. Okay. It is HTTP means TCP, and I'll say it is working on a port number 444444. I mean 4444. So that's my port number on which HTTP of a bank will be working. तो ऐसे उसको लेंगे और उस सर्विस में सिर्फ इसी सर्विस को अलाउ करेंगे. So no matter what application you have allowed it, but HTTP request at this port number will only get access. That is final. This is impact of service based filtering. समझ रहे हो मेरा बात? ठीक है. तो रियल टाइम पे इन चीजों का बहुत इम्पैक्ट है. तो यहाँ पे अप्लाई कैसे होगा? गो टू पॉलिसीज, कम टू सिक्योरिटी. And when you go to LAN to WAN, and here if you go to service based filtering, I can add here. So that was object. An object can be called here. अब वहां पे एक ऑप्शन और था, ऑब्जेक्ट ग्रुप. अब मैं एक एक, अब यही सेम चीज हमको दूसरा जगह भी अप्लाई करना है, तो एक एक को मैं सेलेक्ट करूं. उससे अच्छा मैं क्या करूं? ग्रुप बना. कोई नाम लिख लो और ऐड कर दो सारी जो जो सर्विसेज चाहिए वहां पे, और एक ग्रुप को अप्लाई कर दो. Instead of choosing single service, you can apply a single group. I believe application filtering, sub application filtering, and service based filtering is clear. Three things. So today's three major things we completed. Three major things we completed. One was, so first was application based. Application, sub application, right, and service based. These three things we cleared, we finished. Okay. Very, very important topic. Real time perspective, working perspective, very important. अब यहाँ पे एक और टॉपिक देखते हैं हम लोग, तो आज के लिए हो जाएगा. Small topic will take. This is Syslog server integration. See, we are done with today's topic. In a previous class, I completed user defined. User ID was done. So if you guys haven't gone through, please go through it. Today I'm completing Syslog server. Okay. कल मेरा मन है ये content ID and decryption. These are the big topics. So these two topics will be completing tomorrow. So take a note. Tomorrow you guys will do a research on what is content filtering and decryption. आज हम लोगों ने सोचा ना, देखा ना, applications can be encrypted. So how do you decrypt it? That part we'll see here. ठीक है? That is for tomorrow. Okay. Let's say Syslog server. Syslog server. What is Syslog server? System logs. And why system logs are important to say? Understand, in our system, multiple logs are getting generated every day. And that logs, if we don't keep it safely, that is, I mean, insecurity for us. That's a loophole for us. एक एक एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. मैं इंडिया में नहीं हूँ और मेरे बैंक से 1 लाख रुपए निकल गए. मैं 2 महीने के बाद आया, देखा 1 लाख निकला हुआ है. I didn't get any OTP, I didn't get anything. I don't know how that transaction was done. So what I'll do, I'll go to a cyber cell, I'll register a complaint, I'll go to bank, I'll register a complaint. Can bank deny my request? They can't. Can bank say that you came after 2 months, we can't accept it? No, they can't. They have to do investigation. Now bank needs a solid proof to prove that this wasn't an illegal transaction. Or if it was, that also has to be proven. So bank will check when this transaction was done, what type of logs were generated. Was OTP generated or not? What was the location, which IP, and so many things. What if a bank does not have all these informations? So bank can be a culprit, right? So bank won't have a solid proof to prove it. So bank needs to keep all the records. Do you think your firewall storage has that much capacity that it can store all the logs every day? Lakhs of logs will be generated, and every logs will have some kilobytes, right? Some KB it will be there, right? So KB becomes MB becomes GB, and GB becomes KB. That much capacity your firewall does not have to hold the entire logs. So we need some method where I can store all these informations in a compressed way, and wherever I want, I can decompress, I can execute things, and it should be in a proper managed way. So for that, we have some servers, like we have a Splunk server. Splunk पता है? नाम सुना होगा. Splunk recently सिस्को ने एक्वायर कर लिया है. वो एक SIEM डिवाइस है. SIEM. Guys, take a note of it. SIEM. SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management. Security Information and Event Management. You understand? Security Information and Event Management. So SIEM device, kind of, I'm telling you, I'll have a dedicated syslog server, I'll have a dedicated information management servers, Splunk server, etc. I'll need this to integrate. There are different type of logs, not only a system log, I can have different other type of logs as well. तो उसको कैसे इंटीग्रेट करें और कैसे सारी लॉग्स को सेव करें, ये चीज हम लोग यहाँ पे देखने वाले हैं. ठीक है, डन. See, three steps and it will be done. First of all, we currently don't have that big server. So what we'll do, we'll run some application and we'll use that application to work like a server. इंटरनेट पे की हुई सिसलॉग सर्वर एप्लीकेशन फ्री मिलते हैं. ठीक है, मैं एक काम करता हूँ, इस एप्लीकेशन को अपलोड कर देता हूँ. सो यू गाइस कैन इंस्टॉल इट. It can be used for 15 days trial. But in our PC, that syslog server is pre-installed. Still, I am sharing this application. What I'll do. एक टूल है, अपलोड कर दिया है, इसको इंस्टॉल कर लेना. After installing this, see on a remote PC, I guess I have already installed EV. Okay, it's not there. Let's do one thing. I'll copy this application and I'll paste it on my destination. I mean on my remote PC where I have taken RDP. तो एक बार इंस्टॉल हो गया तो you guys can also use it. You don't have to reinstall. इसको एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं. Okay, it requires some file to download. So let's download it. online itself it will download. It is downloading an application. Wait until it downloads. Assume as of now we are installing one server. Okay. See, it's not possible for us to install all those SIM devices, right? So what we are doing is we are assuming this is our server. We are installing one application which will work like a server. तो यहाँ पे हमारे पीसी का आईपी देखते हैं क्या है ncpa.cpl no, not this one. I should be in a remote PC. A remote PC adapter ncpa.cpl. यहाँ पे ये adapter है इस पे देखो 105.0.0.8 IP is there. So from this PC, I'll ping my firewall management interface. By default, this responsibility of sharing the syslog is of management interface. Try to ping 105.0.0.100. Ping होने लगा. And you should see bidirectional communication क्योंकि request जब जाएगा firewall से server को तो firewall to server it will go, right? So firewall to PC communication also should be there. Okay, data required application was installed. Okay, let us reinstall because it was installing that application that time, right? The required application. Now you see this application is being installed. Finish. ऐसे इसको install कर लेना. This is not required actually. This Kiwi syslog is already installed. Extra application wasn't required. Can you see one Kiwi syslog application has been installed here? 14 days trial it will have. So this, after running this application, now we can assume our PC is working like a syslog server. Now one thing we have to verify, we'll go to a firewall, we'll try to ping. Since we are pinging from management interface, your command will be ping host and IP is 105.0.0.8 was the IP. Check. See, two ways reachability I have, so we are good enough now. Now we'll configure syslog. So three steps are there. Total we have to understand. Go to devices. Inside a device, can you see server profile? So different type of log servers we have, or different type of other servers. SNMP, syslog, email, HTTP, NetFlow. Right. So if I come to syslog server, right, and if I click on add here, it means, so I'll say name here as a syslog. I'll click on add and say kiwi syslog server IP was 105.0.0.8 and see it automatically took UDP port number 514 that it will be using. Okay, so this is first server profile that we created, first step. See, no matter how big server you guys are integrating, these three steps are only required. So once this syslog server is done, created, then go to network tab. Inside a network tab, no, go to object. Inside a object, you must see log forwarding option. Now come to log forwarding and say syslog, okay, forwarding. Click on add. So I'll add my syslog server profile that I created. This is what I don't like. Multiple names, multiple things. Profile, under that profile, kiwi, kiwi, syslog. This thing has been sorted by FortiGate file. FortiGate firewall बड़ा मक्खन की तरह देता है. मतलब
यहाँ पर सर हम segregate कर सकते हैं ICMP, SNMP सारे logs में
इस प्रोफाइल के अंदर ऐड कर सकते हैं.
एक profile different बनाते हैं.
See how long it is taking to display that information. This is just because we have done it on EVNG. On real device, it won't take this much time. अभी तुम लोगों का टास्क क्या है? फिजिकल फायरवॉल पे लैन वैन डीएमसी सब कॉन्फ़िगर करना है और इंटरनेट एक्सेस रेडी करना है. LAN PC should be able to access internet. That much you should make it ready. Okay. I'll select my log server here and say okay. Say okay. Say commit. Commit the changes. Ah, wait. Two steps we completed. Third step was you have to go to a policy. Inside a policy, you have to choose where you want to get a log. So let's say LAN to WAN policy. Here, go to action and here you see log forwarding, right? What was the name? Syslog forwarding. So click on OK and click on commit.
So same as it is हम any possible line ran to ran.
Unnecessary logs नहीं चाहिए ना.
हाँ.
तो जहां पे लॉग सही है उसको सेलेक्ट करो, वहां पे अप्लाई करो, हो जाए. और जैसे ये हो जाता है, we should be able to see log appearing here if we initiate any traffic between LAN to WAN. So let's come here. Let's go LAN to WAN. Let me try accessing Google. In our policy, you remember we have blocked the DNS. That will impact here. If you try to ping should work. 8.8.8. Ping is working, but Google is not working because DNS was blocked. तो यहाँ पे logs आए होंगे. देखो यहाँ से logs आ गए. अब इस log को अच्छे से पढ़ते हैं. See, this is not a actual log server, right? So you are getting informations here in a jumbled way. सारे यहाँ पे एक जगह कॉम्पैक्ट इंफॉर्मेशंस हैं. तो ये तो एक्चुअली तुम लोग को लिए सिखाना था, तुम लोग को बताना था कि कैसे इस लॉग सर्वर इंटीग्रेट होते हैं. तो यहाँ पे हो चुका है और लॉग्स हम लोग को मिल रहे हैं. अब यहाँ पे देखो ये डेट हो गया, ये टाइम हो गया, ये यूजर इन्फो हो गया, ये होस्ट आईपी हो गया, फायरवॉल का मैनेजमेंट आईपी. अब देखो यहाँ पे दिस इज डेटा.
सर हमने पिंग किया है अपने पीसी से, आपने LAN पीसी किया है.
फायरवॉल से लॉग गया है सस्लॉग सर्वर को. तो उस फायरवॉल का क्या आईपी था वो दिखा दिया. फायरवॉल कौन से टाइम पे भेजा वो टाइम दिखा दिया. कौन से फायरवॉल का नाम अलग दे सकते हैं. ठीक है. नाउ here if you see 10.11.11.8 was the IP. We tried pinging 8.8.8.8. This was our translated IP. This was the policy LAN to WAN which got triggered. LAN to WAN zone policy, right? LAN zone to WAN zone traffic was passing. Interface E1 by 1 to E1 by 2. So ऐसे अगर देखा जाए ना तो सारे informations है यहाँ पे. Which protocol? ICMP protocol. What was the action? Allow was the action. So सारे informations यहाँ पे हैं, लेकिन ये actual server नहीं है. This is kind of a demo. I told you like Splunk server or QRadar. Those servers are actual servers that actually manages your information in a better way. समझ रहे हैं? तो ये था हम लोग का syslog server. So importance conclusion is if we have a proper syslog server, we can manage, we can keep all our logs stored at one place, right? This is basically called as an log server. ठीक है. चलो ये हो गया. अब मैं तुम लोगों को इंस्ट्रक्शंस देता हूँ कि कैसे तुम लोग अपना लैब क्रिएट करो. बिना आइडिया कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे तुम. Guys, topics we are done for today's day. For today. So two major topics we understood: application, sub-application, service-based filtering, plus syslog server integration. These were the total topics we completed. Tomorrow we have content filtering and decryption. That much theoretically and practically if we complete, right? That is done. उसमें बहुत सारे थियरीज हैं समझने के लिए, और इंटरव्यू बिना थियरी के नहीं होते. ठीक है. देखो तुम लोग को करना क्या है. यहाँ पे सबसे पहले ईवीएनजी का एक्सेस ले लोगे. ठीक है. ईवीएनजी एक्सेस, और इसको तो बंद ही कर दो. स्टूडेंट एक्सेस तुम लोग का पोर्ट नंबर 3002. From beginning I'm showing you. Please take a note. How would you take an access, or how would you create a remote lab for your, I mean including your physical firewall. सबसे पहले RDP लेंगे. RDP access port number 3002. This is your fixed public IP, username admin, password sys0123. Correct. I'll click on connect. So already I have saved username password. Till this point clear, right? How to take a remote access. Okay. Now we'll go to Palo Alto. Inside of Palo Alto, we'll create live firewall topology. Understood? Create one separate folder inside this. Now we'll create Palo Alto live lab. अब देखो फायरवॉल तो ऑलरेडी हमारे पास है, फायरवॉल का एक्सेस यहाँ पे लेंगे. देखो 2 फायरवॉल्स है. टेक अ नोट https://190 sorry 105.0.0.51. This is one physical firewall, and right now I'm able to access this firewall through management interface. Okay, locally I'm able to access. And https://105.0.105.0.0.52. This is my other Palo Alto firewall. Admin capital A small p @12345. That is the password. Please take a note. Both firewalls username is admin and password is capital A small p @12345. This is password. देखो यहाँ पे फायरवॉल्स फास्ट रहेंगे, सारी चीज एग्जीक्यूट प्रॉपर होंगे. व्हाट इज PAN OS over here? Which version? 11.1. It means my firewall is having PAN operating system version 11. We need a panorama above 11.1. मेरा एक स्टूडेंट का कल, जो मेरा प्रीवियस स्टूडेंट है, उसका जॉब पैलो अल्टो में ही लग गया, फायरवॉल में, एक्चुअल पैलो अल्टो में ही लग गया. तो उसका ज्वाइनिंग नेक्स्ट मंथ से है. तो उसने कल कॉल किया था. तो जो भी पैलो अल्टो इंजीनियर्स होते हैं ना, पैलो अल्टो टैक में चला गया, तो उन लोगों के पास क्लाइंट के बहुत सारे लाइसेंसेस होते हैं. यहाँ तो पैलो अल्टो का लाइसेंस चाहिए, विदाउट लाइसेंस नॉट पॉसिबल. पैलो अल्टो के लाइसेंस चाहिए, एक्टिवेटेड चाहिए ना. नॉट पैलो अल्टो, आई एम सेइंग पैनोरामा. पैलो अल्टो की लाइसेंस तो हमारे पास है, पैनोरामा की लाइसेंस चाहिए. जबकि पैनोरामा से पैलो अल्टो को हम लोगों को क्या करना है, इंटीग्रेट करके मैनेज करना है. ठीक है, तो मैं नेक्स्ट वीक इसको करवाता हूं. ठीक है, तो हम लोग देखेंगे.
तो 40 गेट और 40 मैनेजर और दोनों एक ही है या 40 गेट में आपको मैनेजर कर सकते हैं?
अलग से सीखना पड़ेगा. Okay, so here I can see serial number, right? You want to have the serial number with your virtual firewall. So virtual firewall in the sense the demo firewall which we are using for our EVNG and all, right? You won't get a serial number for that. Okay, चलो अब यहाँ पे करते क्या है. अब देखो तुम लोग को यहाँ पे कॉन्फ़िगर करना है इंटरफेसेस. जैसे E1/1 you have to configure it as a LAN, E1/2 as a WAN. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे क्या करना है, मैं एक करके दिखाता हूँ, बाकी तुम लोगों को करना है. सो यू हैव टू चेंज दिस फायरवॉल मोड टू L3 मोड, and here virtual router, either you can take a default router or you can choose. So zone you can create here as a LAN zone, L3 zone, say okay. and here I can create an IP address. So short way, now you should be very confident enough, right? So for LAN, take a note, LAN interface IP, I'm giving it as a 10.12.12.10. It means your LANs, I mean your LAN subnet would be 10.12.12.0/24. Understood? It means take a note, LAN subnet. LAN, you can't write any subnet. You can't give any subnet because this is actual network or actual configuration that we are doing, and this might impact or conflict with my existing network. So 10.12.12.0/24, ठीक है, और यहाँ पे ओके कर देना, और यहाँ पे मैनेजमेंट प्रोफाइल, ठीक है, मैनेजमेंट प्रोफाइल I'll allow ping service at LAN profile. I'll say LAN profile. I committed here. Understood? I created one LAN interface. Oh, I did it on which firewall? 52. ठीक है, चलो कोई नहीं, इसको डिलीट कर लेना, तुम लोग डिलीट कर लेना इसको, ठीक है. I'll commit this. Now you know what? These interfaces are connected in such a way that on EVNG, if you take any Windows and make it as a LAN PC. अभी जो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन मैंने किया उसको डिलीट कर देना. Palo Alto 1 को यूज करो. I mean 100.1.1.51 को यूज करो. ठीक है. देखो यहाँ पे एक पीसी लिया मैंने, इसको LAN PC बनाया, और इस पीसी से अगर तुम चाहते हो उस फायरवॉल के LAN इंटरफेस को पिंग करो, तो connect it with management cloud and write a name here as a LAN interface. ठीक है, और इसको क्या कर दो, यहाँ पे इसको इससे कनेक्ट कर दो, तो टोपोलॉजी ऐसे ही बनेगा. ठीक है. ये लैन सबमिट हो गया, और इससे कोई एक आईपी हम लोग ले लेंगे. ठीक. तो इस तरीके से तुम लोग को क्या करना है, पूरा डीएमजी वैन सब चीज क्रिएट करना है. समझ रहे हो बात को? जहां पे कंफ्यूजन हो समझ लेना हमसे. .5 मैंने आईपी यहाँ पे डाला, इसको .5 आईपी कॉन्फ़िगर करेंगे. टेस्ट 1 2 3. अब यहाँ पे ncpa.cpl, go to properties. Now there is some information, I guess. You must restart. I'll restart it later. अब यहाँ पे आईपी हम लोग डालते हैं 1 not 1 10.12.12.5, subnet mask 24, gateway 10.11.11.10, oh sorry, 10.12.12.10, that I configured on a firewall, and give a global DNS IP, anything. अब यहाँ से मैं फायरवॉल के गेटवे को पिंग करूं 10.12.12.10. There might be some issue. वो तो इंटरनेट पे है ही। चलो इसको नीचे जाके सॉर्ट आउट करते हैं, क्योंकि ये एक बार सॉर्ट आउट हो गया तो उसके बाद ही तुम लोग लैब कंडक्ट कर पाओगे। इसके फिजिकल कनेक्टिविटीज क्या है, कैसे हैं, वो मैं देख लेता हूँ, उसको फिक्स करता हूँ। चलो नीचे चलते हैं। आई एम नॉट स्टॉपिंग रिकॉर्डिंग राइट नाउ, विल सी। चलो नीचे एसी ऑफ करो। सोहेल, आ जाओ। इसके कनेक्टिविटी में कुछ इश्यूज है। हाँ, देखो, ये यहाँ पे इससे कनेक्टेड हमारे स्विच पे है या नहीं है, देखो तो। हाँ, कनेक्टेड है सर। फिलहाल तो हम प्रैक्टिकली कौन से सपोर्ट पे कनेक्ट है, वेरीफाई करो। हाँ, करो। दिस इज आवर फायरवॉल रैक, अंडरस्टूड। अभी हम लोगों ने किया क्या है, यहाँ पे सारे फायरवॉल के इंटरफेसेस एग्जैक्टली सेम वे, ठीक है, जैसे इस पे कनेक्टेड है सेम वे इस पे भी कनेक्टेड है। ये मैनेजमेंट है तो ये भी मैनेजमेंट है, ठीक है। तो और ये सारे स्विचेस, ये सारे इंटरफेसेस कहाँ पे कनेक्टेड है, हमारे स्विचेस पे। और स्विच का एक्सेस हम लोग कहाँ पे दे रहे हैं, उस सर्वर पे। ये जो सर्वर है ना, उस सर्वर पे हम लोग उसको कनेक्ट करेंगे, समझ रहे हैं। तो यहाँ से, हाँ, ठीक है। तो ये ट्रबल शूट हम लोग को करना है। लगाओ, हाँ लगाओ। हम लोग एक चीज कर सकते हैं, सबनेट को चेंज करके देखते हैं। ओ इट फेल्ड, इट फेल्ड, कमिटमेंट डॉट फेल्ड, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे हम लोग को क्या करना होगा, दिस कमिटमेंट हैज फेल्ड हियर, ठीक है। तो अब लोग क्या करना है, हम लोग को वर्चुअल वायर में क्या होता है, दो इंटरफेसेस वर्चुअल वायर में रहना ही होता है। अगर नहीं है तो ये फेल्ड हो जाएगा। तो यहाँ पे इसको हम लोग I'll do one thing. I'll put it as a L3 interface. I'm changing it as a L3 interface, and I'll make it as a default routing table. Security zone हम लोग यहाँ पे WAN zone कर लेंगे, ठीक है? So I'll say okay, WAN zone. IPv4 address. You can't give any IP. देखो अभी हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे क्या किया है, सारी चीजों को मैनेज कर रखा है, कहाँ पे क्या आईपी कॉन्फ़िगर्ड है. सो यू कांट कॉन्फ़िगर एनी आईपी. So I have already taken here, let's say Palo Alto Firewall, right? Right. So I have taken this IP here. So I have decided WAN IP 192.168, 185, 186. So let's say anything I'm giving it. So before I assign this IP, I'll try to ping this. I'll go to a remote PC. रिमोट पीसी से इसको एक बार पिंग करके देख लो, कहीं कंफ्लिक्ट ना हो. 192.168, 1.185. This IP is not reachable, and 186, even this IP is not reachable. So I can use it. You can't use any IP. So here I'll say I'll create a new address. I'll say WAN, so WAN interface IP, and I'll write 192.168, 1.186. /24. Don't forget to mention /24. और इस पे हम लोग एडवांस में जाके वैन प्रो क्रिएट कर देंगे. पिंग सर्विस अलाउ कर देंगे. ओके से ओके. अब तो लेयर 3 है. नाउ वी डोंट हैव वर्चुअल वायर. सो
सिर्फ वर्चुअल वायर के बारे में फिर से बता देना सर क्या
वर्चुअल वायर के बारे में मैंने बताया नहीं है, मैं कल बताने वाला हूँ, ठीक है? इट्स अ लेयर 2 फायरवॉल.
अगर हम यहाँ पे अपना लेयर 2 नहीं करेंगे अगर वर्चुअल है तो वो पिंगेबल हमारा नहीं हुआ ऐसा बोल रहा आप. हाँ
अभी के लिए कल कल समझ जाओगे वो चीज, ठीक है? Yeah, I don't have virtual wire. Let's say this is a virtual wire, right? Now here I don't see any interfaces allocated here. So
जो वर्चुअल राउटर लोग वहाँ आते हैं
कहाँ पे?
ये जो वर्चुअल राउटर है
वर्चुअल राउटर इज दैट राउटिंग टेबल.
हाँ
राउटिंग टेबल डिफॉल्ट जो राउटिंग टेबल है उसको मैंने एलोकेट किया. Partial changes to commit changes.
VBAR is missing on one or more interface. Version 1.
I'm not using virtual wire anymore. This is I don't want virtual wire. ये तो वर्चुअल राउटर है. वर्चुअल वायर तो ये है. So virtual wire, I have disabled this link state pass through also. Okay. Say okay. और ये जो प्रोफाइल है ना इसको भी मैं डिलीट कर सकता हूँ. दिस प्रोफाइल इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. वर्चुअल वायर प्रोफाइल जो था उसको डिलीट ही कर दिया मैंने, तो कहानी खत्म हो जाना चाहिए. वर्चुअल प्रोफाइल के अंदर मैंने कोई प्रोफाइल ही नहीं रखा, कोई ऑप्शन ही क्लिक नहीं रखा। ठीक है। सेकंड फाइल 52।
बहुत ज्यादा ब्लिंक कर रही है, लोड है तभी कर होता है।
So this is almost getting done. ईवीएनजी को अब हम लोग लिंक करेंगे जो एक्चुअल फिजिकल फायरवॉल से। सक्सेसफुल ना। So we'll close this, come here, ये लैंड पीसी है ना, वहां से पिंग करके हो गया ना। तो यहाँ से फिर डीएमजी एक रखेंगे, डीएमजी का सबनेट बनाएंगे। ठीक है। और वैन के लिए एक राउटर रख सकते हैं। ठीक है। उस वैन पे क्या राउटर आईपी रहेगा वो हमसे पूछ के काम करना है। ठीक है। तो डीएमजी, अब देखो ईवीएनजी से कनेक्टेड, अब एक्स्ट्रा पीसी इंस्टॉल करने की जरूरत तो नहीं रही ना। हम लोगों ने ईवीएनजी को ही यूज कर लिया, जहाँ पे इजी हो जाता है सब चीज मैनेज करने के लिए। अब ऐसे ही डीएमजी अगर लेना है तो क्या करेंगे, यहाँ पे आईओएस राउटर ले लेंगे। ठीक है। अब इसको बना देंगे हम लोग डीएमजी R2 फॉर एग्जाम्पल। ठीक है। अब इसको यहाँ पे ले लो। अब इसको एक और मैनेजमेंट क्लाउड ले लेंगे यहाँ पे। ठीक है। अब इसको बना देंगे यहाँ पे डीएमजी, डीएमजी इंटरफेस, डीएमजी इंटरफेस बना दिया। अब इसको यहाँ पे लाके कनेक्ट कर दो। तो यहाँ पे सबनेट डालो, डिफरेंट वन। जो सबनेट यहाँ पे है।
सीडीएम सब डिफरेंट होगा ना,
हम्म,
सही तरीके से।
192.168. लेट्स टेक 50.0/24। अब यहाँ पे फायदा क्या है ना, कि तुम्हारे अलग अलग डिवाइस को इंस्टॉल करने का जरूरत ही, झंझट झंझट ही खत्म हो गया।
राउटिंग से बच जाएंगे।
ठीक है। फिजिकल कनेक्टिविटी बनाना, इधर उधर करना, वो सारे झंझट खत्म। इस तरीके से बना दिया। एक राउटर वैन पे भी ले लो, वैन पे अलग से एक आईपी है, वैन का इंटरनेट एक्सेस, ये सब मैनेज करो यहाँ पे। अभी इस फायरवॉल पे, इस फायरवॉल पे जो भी चीजें हम लोगों ने अभी बनाई, जो भी इंटरफेस कॉन्फ़िगर किया, सबको रीसेट करो, डिलीट करो। समझ गए। और ये आईपी किस पे होना चाहिए, ये Palo Alto 1 पे होना चाहिए। तो चलो इतना काम तुम लोग करके रखोगे और हमको दिखाओगे। ठीक है। चलो डन।
सर एक ही साले फॉलो वहां से तो कर लेते हैं, स्क्रीन पे बैठ के हाँ, एक लगा लेते हैं वहां पे स्क्रीन शॉट देखेंगे। नहीं, ये नहीं रैक तो 52 वाला हमें तो एक्सेस मिल रहा है ना वहाँ पे सर, तो सर